Hi, are you a first-time home buyer and you're not sure where to start? Well, stick around because I'm going to give you a 7-step process that lays out the entire overview in a brief synopsis of what to expect in buying your first home here in Central Florida. Now, something to note, this is not a hard process, and I think often people don't realize that they do in fact qualify, especially with the amazing incentives that Florida can offer for first-time home buyers. With that said, people will sit on the sidelines and pay rent because they don't think they qualify, and we have amazing lenders that we work with. So if you are in need of seeing if you do in fact pre-qualify for a loan, I can happily connect you with great lenders that I know are phenomenal in doing so. So if you are tired of sitting on the sidelines, wondering if you qualify to purchase your own home, stick around because we're going to get into it right now. Hi, my name is Stephanie and I'm a local realtor here in Central Florida, and I would get calls, texts, emails every day from people just like you looking to make the move and purchase their own home here in Central Florida. And I love it. If you are interested in connecting and looking for support in doing exactly that, feel free to reach out. My contact information is in the description below, and I would love to connect with you to see if I can in fact support you on your home search journey here in Central Florida. So step number 1 is to get pre-approved. One of the biggest hesitations for many clients when they first reach out to me is they don't know if they will even qualify for a loan. And honestly, it doesn't hurt to connect with a lender and allow them to run the numbers, gather information, and see if you do qualify or not. And oftentimes, I can tell you, so many clients come in thinking they need a perfect credit score or they need 20% or more down payment, and that's not the case. And lenders will get you pre-approved if you do meet certain requirements to be eligible to purchase your own home. So it's worth reaching out. It really is a win-win by doing so. And if you are in need of a trusted, licensed lender here in Central Florida, I'm happy to connect you with those that I work with. Now, once you connect with the loan officer, they will gather important information from you, information like your credit score, your debt to income ratio, how long you've been at your place of employment, whether or not you are eligible for certain incentives that may be offered by the state of Florida, and they will analyze and determine whether or not you do in fact qualify. And they do this very quickly. And this really helps to set a realistic expectation for you in what you can afford if you do qualify for a mortgage. Now, with that said, many times people will come in thinking they qualify for this amount of money, and really they only qualify for this amount of money. And what happens is people fall in love with their dream homes that are at this price point, but they can't afford them. And then it's a really tough market to find exactly what you have envisioned versus what you actually qualify for. So getting that pre-approval is very important because it sets that standard of what to expect and what's realistic with your home search. And I would love to connect with you to see if I can in fact support you in your home search journey here in Central Florida. Now, once you're pre-approved, that leads us into step 2, which is considering your needs and selecting your realtor. So if you do choose to work with me, which I would absolutely love, I would love to help support you in identifying what it is exactly that you're looking for. So what type of home, what style of home? Do you want to be in an HOA or not? How many bedrooms? How much square footage? Do you want a pool? Do you want it gated in terms of a community or not? Do you want access to different amenities? There are so many questions, and this really helps to identify what you're envisioning, and that really helps me to support you in finding your dream home in your price range. Now, I am a licensed realtor, which is not the same as a real estate agent. So all real estate agents are not necessarily realtors, and it's not a disservice to them, but just so you're aware, realtor is part of the National Association of Realtors, and it just means that we are held to higher standards, and we are genuinely working in your best interest, not our best interest or the seller's best interest. It is 100% in your best interest. So you want to ensure that whoever you decide to work with, whether it's me or not, that you connect with them, you don't feel pressured, you feel that you can trust them and their opinions and their support, in knowing that they are in fact working in your best interest. Now, I will say, if you do read reviews about me and the clients that I've worked with, you will find many of them say I have a very no pressure approach, and that is 100% my personality. So if you would like to look, you would like to find the home that suits you, maybe you're not in an urgent rush to buy now. Many of my clients were similar to my experience in moving here to Central Florida. Took several years, or were at least a year out, that we worked together to sort of get a gauge of which area they'd like to land in, what type of home, and it doesn't need to be done today. So if that is something that you're looking for, I think we may work really well together, and I would love to connect with you. Again, my contact information is linked in the description below. There's no pressure. I would just love to connect with you and help support you in any way that I can. Now, step number 3 is the fun part. It's the house hunting. So you are going to start exploring, touring, deciding whether you want to see maybe some new construction homes, if you have a further out timeline for building, or they possibly have inventory ready as well. Or if you want an older home with more character, we will start touring resale homes as well. And that will really help us to get a feel for which home you may fall in love with and which area you may fall in love with here in Central Florida. Okay, so that leads us to step number 4, which is writing the offer. If you really love this home, get the offer in right away. So many times people will wait 3 to 5 days and then decide, okay, I want to place an offer. And at that point, it's too late, especially in a competitive market, because homes, if people want them, they go fast. If they're desirable, they go quickly. So it's just something to keep in mind, that when you fall in love with that home, don't wait to get the offer in. Now, I've also worked with buyers who find homes that they like and they decide they don't have to have it. So if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And in that regard, we can come in on a little bit of a lower entry point in terms of price and work our way up. But if it's a home that you have to have, this is your dream home, forever home, whatever the case, we want to get that offer in, and we want to get it in strong. And that leads us to step number 5, which is leaving the details to me. As your realtor, I will not only work on the negotiations on your behalf, but I will also help you to set up the inspections. Make sure you are within a good period so you have time to have the inspections done and respond to negotiations if something comes up that was maybe unforeseen initially. So everything from the inspections to the appraisals to the negotiations to the final walkthroughs, these are all things that I will take care of for you and help in guiding you to go about ordering the correct inspections and so forth. So if you have a home with a septic system, we will want to order a septic inspection, for example. Here in Central Florida, we definitely want wind mitigation, especially if you are going to be getting a mortgage. So these are all things, in addition to many other inspections, that we would recommend depending on the specific residence, that I will handle for you or help to guide you in handling correctly. Now, I am a realtor here in Central Florida. However, if maybe you're not here in Central Florida and you're looking in South Florida or the Panhandle, I have a great referral network that I am happy to connect you with. So please don't hesitate to reach out, and I can connect you with a trusted realtor that I know works wonderfully and give you that referral so you can rest assured. That also goes for outside of Florida. So if you are looking for great realtors in New Jersey or Pennsylvania or anywhere across the US, I am happy to make the referrals with realtors, again, that I know are trusted and will work in your best interest. Now, another perk in working with me as your realtor is my husband and I have been doing home flips and renovations for years, and we really started off as real estate investors and we continue to do that. But that's definitely an advantage to you in having us in your corner, because we can look for things that maybe most clients aren't noticing when they first walk through a home or prior to putting their offer in on the home. So once we know the home is safe and secure and has a good structure, that leads us into step number 6, which is final review, walkthrough, and closing. And this is when you are committing to your mortgage for the next 30 years or whichever term that you choose. And during this time, it is very important that you do not purchase anything that will affect your credit. So don't go furniture shopping and take out a loan and buy a new car, because that will 100% impact your closing and whether or not you will continue to qualify for that mortgage that you were pre-approved for. So with that said, once we get to that final piece of closing and the final walkthrough and everything is good, step number 7, which is the best step, and that is getting your keys and moving into your home. So at this point, the process is wrapping up to an end. You will then be celebrating, you will be getting your gifts, and you will be making your home your own. So that is pretty much the general process. At that point, you will want to start looking into declaring homestead as a Florida resident so you can get your tax breaks as a Florida resident. And again, I can give you guidance on that as well. But that is pretty much the 7-step process. Very general overview in what it takes to own a home here in Central Florida. So this is a very brief overview to the path of home ownership here in Florida. And I hope this provided value and you gained some education. And if nothing else, I hope this encouraged you to see if you do in fact qualify to buy your own home rather than sitting on the sidelines indefinitely. So again, thank you for watching. If you have questions or comments, feel free to drop them below. If you'd like to connect with me, my contact information is in the description below. And as always, if you'd like to continue to know everything there is to know about living here in Central Florida, please make sure to click subscribe and tap the bell for notifications to stay tuned on all about Central Florida. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.